Okay, guys. So it's a pleasure to welcome Athan to be talking about the power of the palette. So really looking forward to this one. Athan, I know you're online, so if you you could share your screen, and over to you.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
So thanks everyone for running the Tableau Film Festival for EMEA and for including me in this amazing list of speakers. It's a great pleasure for me to talk, and my session today will be about the power of palette. It would be related with the use of color in data visualization. A few words about me. I'm Athan Mavrantonis. I'm coming from Greece. I'm currently located in Dublin, working as an informatics consultant with Cloudflare Partners. And you can also see my my Tableau public profile and and my social links here in my presentation. So let's now the session today would be will include the power of color as a pre-attentive attribute. Then I'll discuss about color blindness and accessibility. A few things about complementary and analogous groups of colors. Then we'll have a discussion about color psychology and where you also can the attendees can participate in and check your psychology, your color psychology knowledge in a test we run. Another thing would be discussing about the different symbolism of its color across different regions and cultures, and things that we should have in mind when we try to communicate with color to an international audience or in specific audience in different countries. Finally, if we have time, I will share some tips and techniques on use of color from my Tableau public work, and also share some online tools which you can use to create custom color schemes. It will start by seeing the first slide, which is about the color as a pre-attentive attribute. Pre-attentive attribute is one which is processed in spatial memory without conscious action. In essence, this process takes less than 500 milliseconds for the eye and the brain to process, and this is a great tool set for all information designers, as these kinds of attributes can be used to make it easier for user to understand and what is presented through the design, and save them time from consciously processing all the data, which of course requires more time and effort. So use of color for grabbing attention is possibly the most important. And here's a quote from John Tukey, which says that the greatest value of a picture is when it forces us to notice what we never expected to see. And that's actually what we can do with using color, grabbing attention of the user and focusing on specific points of the visualization. And how we do that is through the HSL scale, which is H stands for hue, S for saturation, and L for lightness or luminance. Hue is a measure of the color that we normally give a name to, like we call colors with names like red, orange, or violet, or whatever. Saturation and lightness on the other hand, are a measure of the intensity of the colors, and they are pre-attentively processed and can be used to separate visual elements from their surroundings. So this saves the user from having to perform a visual search through the data. Let's have a look about why, when we use color, we should also consider color blindness and accessibility. Color blindness is the decreased ability to see color or identify differences in color in some people. More than 95% of the variations in human color vision deficiencies involve the red and green receptors, specifically in male eyes. The color vision deficiency affects a large number of individuals with some variations like protanopia and deuteranopia being the most common types. It is very rare for either male or females to be colorblind to the blue cone of the retina, and so blue versus orange diverging color palette would be a much more appropriate with accessibility in mind. We should also have in mind that there is no treatment to cure color vision deficiencies, so we have to offer accessibility to information to colorblind people too. According to a research by Howard Hughes Medical Institute, in 2006 in the United States, about 7% of the male population, or about 10 million people, 10 million men, and 0.4% of female population either couldn't distinguish red from green or see red and green differently from how other people do. But really, color blindness isn't just what most people talk about. It's the red and green colors and distinguishing them. So if we look at the epidemiology, there are 95.5% of the population with normal vision. Then we see the different variations of color blindness, with protanopia and protanomaly being the deficiencies of the red color, deuteranopia and deuteranomaly being the deficiencies of the green color, and tritanopia and tritanomaly or the blue color, which is much more rare, as well as achromatopsia, which is one case in 10,000 people, which is people who cannot see color at all. There are some two misconceptions. The first one is that the color blindness doesn't relate to just to color hues, which can be distinguished, but it affects the whole color spectrum, as we can see at the left. People with color blindness see all the colors of the spectrum differently. It's not the same with someone with a normal vision. And the second misconception is that the percentage of people suffering from color blindness varies across different regions. So as we told before, it's about 7% in the US. It can be even more. In Russia, it's 9%. And another fact is that examples including rural areas like in Finland and Hungary and some Scottish islands, there in those cases, especially the less usual types like tritanopia and tritanomaly and achromatopsia are more present there. So let's have a look for the two basic groups of color, which are complementary and analogous. A complementary color scheme is created whenever two direct opposites of the color star, which we see on the left, are used. For example, orange and blue, or purple and yellow, or magenta, vermilion, or teal. This is a great way to start with a divergent color palette, as we know in Tableau. And the complementary sim is also good when you need to compare two distinct values of a single dimension. And on the other hand, analogous color schemes are often found in nature and are harmonious because are sequential. In Tableau, this could be used to color the intensity of a measure or to use them in a heat map. So Maureen Stone, which is a scientific researcher at Tableau software, who created the vision in terms of color for Tableau, has a quote that says that contrasting colors are different, analogous colors are similar. Contrast draws attention, and analogy groups. This is really simple, but it's so important for a base in color theory. So then we can discuss about the color psychology and emotional effects of the colors. And if anyone wants to participate, I can give you a few seconds. I will show you, for example, a color like the red color, and you can comment what emotions that creates to you, or what feelings and what ideas. So I'll leave a few seconds if anyone wants to check what kind of ideas or emotions would any color create to him, and check if the answer, for example, red creates excitement, passion, power, warning, rescue, hot, or spicy. We follow up with orange. So it's visibility, refreshing, danger, youth, and Protestant religion related with the orange color for most of the people in Western countries. Then we have yellow. And it's visibility, caution, happy, shiny, and cowardice. Green. So it's environmental, outdoors, freshness, health, envy, jealousy, and inexperience. Then it's blue. Which is considered trustworthy, official, business, and philosophy and tranquility related. Now the purple. Which is collected with luxury, bravery, law, royalty, and excess. Now brown. Which is considered boring, connected with earth, fertile, strength, honesty, manual labor, and poverty. And finally, we'll close with gray. Which connects with humility, depression, strength, wisdom, elegance, and conservative thoughts. So I don't know how you find the meanings and how related were your answers with one of them, or if they included what your emotions were. But these answers were from people in the U.S. and North America and in Western Europe, but now we can see how its color is perceived in different cultures, and then we'll see that there are many differences there. For example, if we start with red color, we see that in Russia, in China, for example, it is considered good luck or joy in China, and in Russia is connected with communism, revolution, or beauty, while in Italy is connected with light. So in its different culture, in its different region, color has a different symbolism. This is less. There's less variance in orange, for example, but we can see some big differences. Like in India, it's related with death or rebellion, while in China or Japan is related with love and happiness. So when you have an audience from these countries, we should consider this. Now with yellow, there are some interesting difference here. For example, in Netherlands, it's related to food, or in nature in Russia, and in Thailand with Nirvana. Or so now green is more stable across all regions. Is more environmentally connected color, but in Scandinavia it's considered to be connected with sterility and create such emotions. Or in Spain and Portugal with cheap products. And let's go a little more quickly, because now we see blue. Blue has different meanings, of course. In India, it's love, truth, and mercy. In Israel, it's God and glory. And in other countries like South Korea, Indonesia is mourning and sadness. Or in Turkey, is connected with evil and wealth. So there is much variance here too. Now purple, purple is has not so many countries have different perceptions. And finally, black. Black is considered to be connected with death or power. So in most countries, it's connected with this kind of emotions. So I don't know if we have some time to share some tips on use of color from my Tableau public work. So here's a visualization about the tourism in Berlin and Brandenburg for Makeover Monday. I used just one color and complementary variations of it. There are only rare cases, in my opinion, where using many colors works well. Also, more colors mean more processing time for the user. So the less colors, the better for me. Using color only when needed to serve a particular communication purpose. And at the end, remove any color clutter. So as Edward Tufte has said, avoiding catastrophe becomes the first principle in bringing color to information, because above all, do not harm the visualization. Don't color is a kind of loudness. We should use it more sparingly and with a specific purpose. So some other techniques I have used is using color to draw attention and then guide the user through the viz. So again, we see another visualization, which I used red in order to draw attention to the map, but also using it consistently to guide the user through the visualization. Speaking about consistency, using color consistently throughout the data story helps the user to grasp the meaning immediately, and it's also very important when trying to tell a story and want to preserve the context and the story flow. So a few more examples. You can use color to decorate or simulate reality, and at least please don't overdo it, as I did it in this case with this Makeover Monday creative visualization. Also, you can use color to reveal different patterns. Like you can see in this video about annular and total solar eclipses. And finally, you don't have to use color if you don't need to use. You can pass your message without color with some powerful black and white visualization, which can pass the meaning that you want to convey to the user. So finally, because I think I'm about at the end of the time, I can share some online tools to create custom color schemes. I was supposed to walk you through this, but I don't know if we have enough time. So I just serve the links here, and my favorite is Coolers at coolers.co. You can check that out. And so
Ethan, that was fantastic. A really, really good presentation.
Thanks, Sarah.
No problem. Just got one question. It's a really simple one from Colin. What's your favorite color?
It's black.
Black?
Yeah, yes, it is. What's Colin's favorite color?
He'll put it in the comments.
Okay, thanks.
So, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.